Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It's another day's journey, and I am so glad about it. And thank you. It's 5 o'clock. I'm not normally on at this time. We normally see each other at 6:30 in the morning, and maybe sometimes on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. But today, this is a special announcement because we have a grave concern. For those of you that were listening to worship on Sunday, I told you about, and you have no doubt heard about the travesty, the problem, the issue with the Urban League, and the Urban League choosing, after um, repeated warnings and after internal dialogue from some well-meaning members of the Urban League has decided to still go ahead on tomorrow night and honor Ron DeSantis. That's right, Florida banned AP studies in African American history, war on wokeness, war on transgendered people, war on everything Black. DeSantis, they've decided to award him and reward him at their dinner on tomorrow night. And we talked about it a little bit on Sunday, but I need you to know that I'm not the only one talking about this. In fact, of the people that are talking about it, I am the least of these. We want you to know that tomorrow, the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity, Philadelphia branch of the NAACP, Black Women's Leadership Council, the Northeast Against Racism, Philadelphia Now, PA Now, Black Voters Matter Fund, and the National Action Network, and members of the Philadelphia City Council are all coming together to raise our voice against this action. What do we mean by that? We are raising our voice, saying to the Union League, this is a disgrace. It is wrong. It is a smack in the face to people of this city. How are you going to honor someone in a city that has 44% African American, and he has determined that an AP course on African American history has no educational value? That is not acceptable. And so on tomorrow at 12 o'clock outside of the Union League, there's going to be a press conference of all of those mentioned entities. And then at 4 o'clock, there is going to be mass action. Now, I want you to know, I'm encouraging you to come on out, get there at 12 and just be around and just be out there. But there are two distinct things: a press conference to explain what it is we are saying, number one, and number two, there is mass action because those persons, they're coming down there. And we want to witness them come down. We want to witness people who would spend their money to honor someone who denies the humanity of 44% of the people in Philadelphia. We want to sit and watch them. We want to look at them, and we want them to see us. And so I wanted you to know what that is about. Now, there are good people on all sides of this equation. You're going to hear what the demands are and what these people expect. We would like for them to just not have the event. We would like them to rescind. He's coming on a private plane. That plane can not take off, number one. Number two, we think that it is the right thing to do, that well-meaning people on the inside of that building should come to the outside of that building and reject membership in that organization. Not everybody agrees with that. And I do know some good people who will take another approach. But then we also know that many entities in this city do business with the Union League. They will host their events in the Union League, or they will go to the Union League. We're asking people who used to do business with the Union League to not do business with the Union League any longer. But then we also would like to witness who those people are. Because if you're doing business with someone who honors who we are not, that raises questions as to whether we need to do business with you. At some point, all of us have to, at some point, you got to stand up and decide what you will and will not take. And so for some, this may seem like too much. For others, it may seem to be not enough. For you, this may not be a concern, but I think you need to know that there are a lot of people who are offended by the fact that the Union League had the opportunity to do something different. They've had internal discussions, and they know that there are good people inside there that think this is not a good idea. The question is, what are we willing and what are they willing to do about it? What I'm asking you to do is some low-hanging fruit. 12 o'clock, be outside the Union League. 4 o'clock, be outside the Union League. Join us both for a press conference and then for a mass action that is simply standing and protesting, standing and witnessing, watching people who are willing to celebrate that. I mean, you know what is interesting to me? Let me just go on and say it. I had the opportunity to pray for the first African-American lieutenant governor. It felt so good to be in such a progressive moment. 1 week later, I am back in time fighting a George Wallace type leader. How does that happen? Some of us got to say, not on our watch. You know, one of the things that I have enjoyed for literally 29 years being in Philadelphia, lots of things that fly in other places won't fly in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia is a special place with a special people. In fact, we've got a little thing going on right around here with the football game. It's a Philly thing. Well, maybe DeSantis needs to find out it's a Philly thing. It does not fly to be disrespectful to African Americans because it's a Philly thing. It does not fly to be disrespectful to people of any protected minority. It's a Philly thing. You're going to find out what a Philly thing is. So what I'm asking all of you to do, number one, if you can't come out, be prayerful. Number two, if you can, come. 12 o'clock press conference, 4 o'clock mass protest. If you have influence, use your influence in your organization to help your organization think about how to do business without utilizing the Union League. And if you are a person that has done business with the Union League, think through, ask yourself the question, who is or what is the friend of my enemy to me? What is the friend of my enemy to me? That's a question that you have to ask and answer. Listen, I wanted you all to know that's why I was talking about it on Sunday. I'm not the only one talking about it on Sunday, but if I was, I would still be saying the same thing. This cannot stand. And I want to encourage you to do your part to come out and join. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock press conference, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, a mass protest. And what you can do, if you do nothing else, let's help this moment, this video, send it to as many people as you can. We want to get the word out. You're going to find out other people are sending things like this out. Again, as I remind you, Black Clergy of Philadelphia and vicinity, Philadelphia branch of NAACP, Black Women's Leadership Council, Northeast Action Against Racism, Philadelphia Now, PA Now, Black Voters Matters Fund, and National Action Network, and the members of the Philadelphia City Council. Those persons and more are coming together tomorrow because this cannot go unaddressed. Listen, I love you all much. And since I'm talking to you, don't forget, tomorrow morning, 6:30, we're back in our 31-day biblical challenge and thinking about what it means to be church. And this certainly is a part of what it means to be the church. We show up for our people. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer. Don't forget, it's a Philly thing. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer.